Hello everyone, good morning. My name is Zuzana Vajsová and in ALEF Training Center I work as a group manager for EMEA region, but today I will be your moderator. On behalf of the entire ALEF training team, I would like to invite you warmly in our first ALEF Knowledge Day. During today's event, our professional trainers and technical specialists from Czech Republic, Slovakia, Romania and Hungary will introduce you our training center, our new courses, tell you how to choose the right type of training, and you will also learn news from our main vendors from Cisco, AWS, F5, Microsoft and VMware. We have also prepared a Christmas surprise for you in the form of interesting discounts on selected trainings. You will find out everything you need from me at the end of today's event, so I really recommend you to stay until the end of this event. Because we use the WebEx Events platform, you don't see each other, you only see the speakers, us, you are automatically mute and you can't turn on the video. In case you will have any questions, please use the chat. We will check it regularly and we will give everyone space. I do hope that you will enjoy today's event and you will learn a lot of interesting things and news. I now give the word to my colleague and manager, Andrea Konopásková.
Thank you, Zuzana. Have a great morning. My name is Andrea Konopásková. I'm from Prague, Czech Republic, and in the field of IT business, I'm working more than 20 years. In the field of education business, I'm working last 8 years in ALEF. Sorry, but now it is. ALEF training centers are a key part of ALEF Group. But who is ALEF? ALEF Group is one of the largest IT value add distributor in the EMEA region. Our main vendor and main business is Cisco. But of course, we are working also with related infrastructure key players on the IT market. As you can see, in the last time we are also we have distribution contracts for cloud and very important security vendors. Related training partnerships, we always are related to our distributor contracts because in ALEF we have a philosophy that we only do what we can do. So as you can see, we are also Cisco learning partner, F5 Ultra training center, AWS training partner, Microsoft learning partner, and of course VMware partner. It's also a really important partnership. I'm very proud and happy that we are growing in security partnership, and now from September, we together with Consigas also offering Palo Alto courses. From security view, after that we have a partnership with Proofpoint and CompTIA. What we are offering? ALEF Training Center, we are offering and delivering on-site courses, instructor-led training, online, with virtual instructor-led training, and hybrid trainings, which are also really important, and we understand the needs of our customers. Sometimes it's really demanding, and sometimes because of the difficult labs, it's not possible, but we always try to find a way how to deliver trainings to you. In offer, we have certified courses, knowledge courses. We are cooperate for these courses with ALEF Knowledge, which is reseller in Czech Republic. What is really unique in ALEF training centers that we also created tailor-made courses. We have always individual customer trainings and approach, and we are developing education programs in companies. We also have testing center Person View. As you can see, we can deliver training across whole Europe. Only what can a little bit stop us, it's a time zone. So everything what is minus or plus 1 hour in Central European time is okay. And we will deliver to you training virtually, or there is no problem that our trainers will travel to your location. We have more than 20 full-equipped training rooms, and you can find it in Prague, Bratislava, Budapest, Bucharest, in Adriatic region, and next year we will also have a training center in Greece. Now I would like to introduce a little bit what is unique in areas what we are offering. So in Cisco, I think there is no need to introduce Cisco to you because Cisco is still worldwide leader in networking and in infrastructure. And to be honest, infrastructure it's the core of IT business. Because it's really demanding and difficult topic, Cisco has a really huge and sophisticated education system. What is really nice that they have also Cisco Learning credits. It's like a tool voucher that you also can use for trainings. ALEF has a lot of experiences with Cisco Learning credits, how to use it, what kind of training is the best to claim for this. Because ALEF in general has a lot of experiences with Cisco. From 1994 we are Cisco distributor. In Czech Republic we are also reseller, Cisco Gold partner, ALEF Knowledge. And of course we are Cisco Learning partner. What is really unique, it's our huge team of trainers. We have more than 50 trainers and 37 of them have CCSI certification. They are Cisco certified trainers. What is really also unique is the quality of our trainers, because the rate of MTM tool, what is like a measure of quality of trainers, the figure for ALEF is 4.89, but the average of other learning partners are 4.55. That's why we every year get Instructor Excellence Awards for a lot of trainers, mostly in area routing switching, data center and security. What is also a great bonus for our customers, that we are providing knowledge refresh program. It means that every attendee can repeat the theoretical part of Cisco certified training. About Cisco and about news and trainings and other trends, you will see and hear more in presentation of my colleague and excellent trainer Mohit from Hungary, and also from my colleague from Prague, Jiří Ceglář, which is, I think, the best data center specialist what I've known. About F5. A5 is really close to Cisco technology, and that's why we are providing solution and consultancy and trainings. We are also distributor, because it's a big leader in the application security and delivery. ALEF is also focusing a lot of for cybersecurity field, and that's why F5 is really important vendor in our offer. What is interesting and great, we have a whole F5 training portfolio in the offer. Now we develop Nginx course by ALEF, and we have the biggest team of F5 specialists in EMEA region. We have more than 100 implementation. AWS. AWS, it's a worldwide leader in the cloud solution, and I think these leaders also means that they are more visible in Europe in last 3 years. What is great, there is special program for public sector for next year, and AWS will fund a lot of trainings. In ALEF, we are also AWS consultancy partner, and that's why lecturers have really deep knowledge from infrastructure, and together with real experiences from implementation, they are really specialists. I'm really proud that we have also worldwide implementation references. VMware. I think there is no need to explain what is VMware and how big, important leader in IT world is. And I think Jürgen Nilgen in following presentation will announce a lot of news and trends in this great area. From the point of view of training, we are really most popular training center in Adriatic region. I think it's really nice. And of course, our lectures has also deep knowledge with other brands and vendors. About Microsoft, also it's one of the largest IT companies. Sometimes I think that it's like a must-have certification in IT world. And about Microsoft also will speak more my colleague and really great person, Dana Kebak from Romania. What is nice also from a training point of view that we are also Microsoft Gold partner in Czech Republic, and we have a really great security knowledge in this area. We are developing own Microsoft courses, and we always have custom approach. In the field of security, we have a really close to cybersecurity topics, and ALEF develop a lot of own cybersecurity trainings. But in the field of international certification, we choose CompTIA because their approach to trainings are also great because they are no vendor oriented. And in cybersecurity, I think this is more than needed. So ALEF is focusing only on cybersecurity courses. We have a whole cybersecurity training portfolio from CompTIA. And what is really great that our trainers are working in ALEF CCERT team. ALEF CCERT team is one of the only few companies or teams who has a certified trusted introducer. For our imagination, for example, Czech Republic is like a leader in cybersecurity field, and only 3 CCERT teams in Czech Republic have this certification. ALEF courses. So, because we are really strong company with a lot of specialists, there is I think, need to have also some own approach, because we always have a lot of requests from our customers to customize the courses, to tailor-made courses, and that's why we develop a lot of them in a lot of topics. But it's not only about security, because I'm listed here some news about ALEF courses, that there is also IT for non-IT as a general overview of IT technology. After that, we have a new course for cloud introduction, and of course about security, Windows infrastructure, and cyber attacks and defense practice. But we have also another topics, for example about Wi-Fi, and about Wi-Fi will speak more my colleague from Slovakia, Michal Mardiak. What is really, I think, important to say again, that our lecturers are really professionals. They are also pre-sales consultants, system engineers, they are architects and security consultants, and that's why they have a really huge experiences from real projects. I think this is really value add, and they have not only theoretical knowledge. Of course, a whole portfolio what ALEF is offering you can find at our training websites. So why to work with us? I think there are a lot of reasons, several reasons why to try it, why to do it, because we have a great training team with really special customer care. We have years and years experiences with delivery of training. We always find a way how to support you, for example, how to find some way how to finance your training if you have, for example, free training budgets. Of course, we can, after training, we can also give you support with some value services. We have a great background with testing center. We have a testing center in Czech Republic, Slovakia, Hungary, and Romania. But as I mentioned several times, I think the main value add, it's a huge team of trainers with real experiences and the individual approach, because we always try to find a way how to deliver training by your needs. So have a nice day, have a nice conference, feeling from conference, and I'm looking forward to see you again.
So, thank you, Andrea, for a great opening presentation. I do hope that everyone understands and receive a great update from ALEF Training Center. And now we will move to our first presentation from my colleague from Mohit. And after the presentation, we will have definitely a time for any question you will have. So feel free to use the chat anytime. Mohit, it's now your turn.
Thank you, Zuzana. Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is enjoying this morning, especially me. It's snowing out here, so quite cold for me. My name is Mohit Tiwari. I am Indian working in Hungary from last more than 3 years. I have in total more than 10 years of experience in networking and consultancy, and more than 10 years of experience in delivering Cisco certified training as well. So just give me a minute. Let me share my screen and we can talk about the agenda. I hope you can see my screen now. So what's it's all about? I'm going to talk about what's new in Cisco certifications. So in short, I'm going to give you a summary about Cisco certifications. So we'll talk about different tracks, which one is applicable to you. You can pick it up and you can then decide to go for it. Also, I'm going to talk about a topic known as software-defined networking. So I'm going to give you an overview about what is software-defined networking, and we are going to talk about, I'm going to use one solution known as SD-WAN, which is designed for wide area network, to give you overview on SDN. So we'll talk about business case, what are the requirements, and then we will see how software-defined networking is fulfilling.
Mohit, can you please switch the theme of the presentation? You don't have the full screen.
Yeah, no, I will do it later on.
Okay, thank you.
So let's talk about Cisco certification. I'm not going to waste your time too much. So just type Cisco certification. If you do it on internet, you will find the first link from Cisco. Click on it. And this page will tell you about all the Cisco certifications which are currently present. So back in 2020, February 24th, Cisco decided to make some changes with their certification. And more or less, it's almost same, but yeah, they need to basically launch the programming side of networking and the software-defined networking. That's why they made these changes on 24th February 2020. Everyone was very excited. Myself, I was very excited because I wanted to do SD-WAN certification. I was delivering the course. I was teaching people about SD-WAN, but after 24th February only, I can give the certification. So it was really, really good. So you can see we have entry-level certifications. Mostly no one know about it, and we don't do it because we directly jump into the associate level certification, which makes sense. I'll talk about this in a minute. Then there are specialist certifications, which have some special roles covering some special topics. We have professional level certifications. More or less, the ideology of associate, professional, and expert level certification is same. Little bit changes, which I'm going to cover. And then we have expert level certifications. Now, if you come to this page, just scroll it down, you can see the entry level certification, CCT collaboration, data center, CCT routing and switching. So you can think about ICND courses, but ICND course was more focused on routing and switching. The same way we have defined very entry-level certification from Cisco for collaboration, for data center and routing and switching. Now, these are not prerequisite for anything. If you want to do, let's say, CCNP routing and switching level, then you must have CCNA. So let's talk about associate level quickly. Now, earlier, it was all about CCNA security, CCNA collaboration, CCNA data center, CCNA design, whatever. Now what we have done is there is just one CCNA. Now you just have to do this CCNA and then you can do any of these tracks. There are some exceptions. So if I have to do routing and switching, which is now known as Enterprise, you just have to do CCNA. That's it. If you want to do CCNP security, only CCNA is the prerequisite. And same goes for CCNP service provider, data center, and collaboration. Now, if I want my career in DevNet, now you have to do CCNA for DevNet, which is known as DevNet Associate. For cyber ops, if you're looking for a professional level certification or expert level certification, prerequisite will be cyber ops associate. Now, when you have done the appropriate associate level certification, now you must be focusing on some professional level certification. So there are different tracks, more or less. They are exactly same what we had before. Cyber ops and DAVNet certifications. These are the new tracks. So cyber ops covering the cyber ops part. DAVNet is about making the next generation of network engineers with programming capability. Okay, so DAVNet track cover mostly that part. At the end of my session, I'm going to share you some videos or some places where you can go and you can learn more about DAVNet, for example. These are free of cost resources. You don't have to pay to anyone, and very simple to use and follow material. Now, in professional level certification, we talked about CyberOps and DAVNet are the unique. Rest of the certificates are more or less same. In expert level certification, we have CCIE collaboration data center. For DAVNet, we have expert level certification, and we have enterprise. So inside enterprise, we are dividing it further into enterprise infrastructure, which is more or less focusing on routing and switching and related technology. And we have another track, which is enterprise wireless, focusing on wireless. Then we have CCI security and CCI service provider. Now you must be thinking, what's the prerequisite of these courses, how it is designed? So let's talk about it. Again, I'm not going to use a track, but I'm going to use a internet so that you will know how to browse this information. So this is where you need to reach. I have a PDF version. So guys, we talked about entry-level certifications. These are the required exams. You can go through the training, you can do these courses. Then we have CCNA, associate level certifications. These are the required exams, 200-301, 200-901, 200-201, respectively for these courses. And then we have professional level certifications. Now, in order to get, for example, the CCNP Enterprise, you need to do one core exam, and then you need to get at least one concentration exam. So this is how Cisco have divided the professional level certification. There will be one core exam, which will be talking in general about all the fields from that section. And then there will be concentration exams, which will be focusing on a specific technology. So let's take an example of SD-WAN, software-defined wide area network. You will be picking up this course and you will be further learning about it. So you can go to the Cisco page. I can go to this place. It is under CCNP Enterprise. Cisco SD-WAN is under CCNP Enterprise. I'll click on Enterprise, and then I can see the core exam. So in order to get the CCNP Enterprise status, you have to do the core exam and one of the concentration exam. That's how you get the status of CCNP Enterprise. So if I want to do the SD-WAN, implementing Cisco SD-WAN solution, I need to prepare for this course, clear this exam. Along with NCore, I will get CCNP Enterprise status. So why they are known as concentration exam, as you can see, these are concentrated on specific topics. So for SD-WAN, we have this. If you want to learn in enterprise how to automate stuff, implementing automation for Cisco Enterprise solution, and so on. So whichever track you are targeting, you need to target your track. You need to think about which track is going to fulfill your knowledge gap. And then you're going to choose the professional level certification. You will do the core exam, and you will concentrate then on the specific technology which you want to learn or you work on. For example, ACI. Okay, so in data center, CCNP data center, you can go in, you can do your core exam, and then you can think about, oh, there are 2 courses I can see for ACI. So you're going to talk about this. Okay, this topic will be touched later on as well, so I'm not going to touch ACI concept. But yeah, this is how it goes. You have to do the core exam, and then you have to think about which concentration exam is going to fulfill your request. You will go through it, you will click on it, and you can then go to the learning partner like ALEF, and you can register for this course. You can do this course virtually or classroom or in hybrid model, get the sufficient knowledge, and you can participate in the exam. Okay. For exam, you have to visit Pearson View Center, or you can do it remotely as well. So that's how it goes with the Cisco certification. Now, if I go to CCDE or expert level certifications, you can see that we have CCI Enterprise Infrastructure, and required exam is NCore 350-401. What it is? Oh, it's a core exam. So there is no CCIE written exam or lab exam. There is just a lab exam. And the prerequisite for these expert exam are the core exams from the professional level. So you don't have to give CCIE routing and switching written and lab exam separately. But if you are core certified for enterprise, you are eligible to go for the lab exam. Okay, and that's true for all the tracks. There are some specialist certifications as well for collaboration, data center, and customer success. So you can enroll in these courses and you can get the specific knowledge if you're looking for, let's say, NetApp FlexPod, or you're looking for Meraki knowledge. You can also participate in these courses. So this is basically, I wanted to give a short summary on the Cisco certification, what's happening, what are some new tracks and old tracks. That's it. If you have any question, guys, there is a question and answer block. You can write a question at the end of the session. I'm going to talk about or entertain your questions. Okay. I hope no question so far. And what I will do, I will try to facilitate this material, what I'm sharing right now to you. So someone from our team, probably Juzana, will share all these material with you so that you can review it later on. Okay. So let's move to our next topic, which is software-defined networking. Okay, I'm going to use my presentation now. Okay, I hope it is readable. You already know me now, Mohit Tiwari. You can find me on LinkedIn as well. If you want, you can join me on LinkedIn. That's not my baby, it's my friend's baby. But yeah, I like it, so it's there. Okay, so in ALEF, I'm working as a group pre-sales and training consultant, but you can think about a trainer. So if you need me as a trainer, I'm a trainer, okay? So that's the profile. Also, this is how the certificate of Cisco instructor look like. So CCSI, Andrea mentioned that we have 37 instructors. So certified Cisco system instructors, we have in total 37 across Europe. And this is how the certificate look like, okay? Okay, now I can move to my presentation. So software-defined networking. What do we think about this software defined? Are we defining things with the help of software? How the networking is going? Like, are we going to get rid of physical boxes? What it is? So that's what basically I'm going to cover in software defined networking overview section. What are the prerequisites? How you can prepare yourself for this generation? How you can fill your knowledge gap? What kind of courses you can do? Or there are free resources as well, some. Okay, so I'm going to share those with you. So you can start your journey and start thinking about software-defined networking. So face reality as it is, not as it was or you wish it to be. Basically, we all know like IPv4, IPv6, we all know that, okay, IPv6 is coming, IPv4 is getting exhausted. And we're still trying to find or figure out ways we can conserve IPv4 addresses because maybe because of knowledge gap, we are afraid of IPv6. But yeah, we have to accept the fact and we have to start learning IPv6. Same way, applicable to any technology. So when the evolution is happening, we have to accept it, we have to upgrade ourselves and survive in the market, right? Now, from the software-defined networking perspective, there are some components of transformation. Automation and orchestration, these are the primary key factor of these components. We'll talk about software-defined anything. So we will define with the help of software to anything. This concept will be applicable for anything. I'll try to use one concept to tell you what it is. And then you can think about applying the same knowledge to anything, to data center, to enterprise campus network, to anything, okay? Network programmability. Now, many people, they think that they have to become a programmer in order to do the network engineer job. I would say it is partially true. Why partially true is that you must have enough knowledge to understand programs and edit them to fulfill your network job, okay? So we'll talk about API or how you can automate your task using APIs. And in that APIs, you have to use a script like XML or JSON. And if it is scary, don't worry, you just need to understand the basic syntax. You need to understand how to edit them and get your job done. There are many libraries which you can refer where people, expert people, they put these syntax or codes. You can just pick it up from there, use it for your job, okay? So yeah, you have to go towards this track of network programmability, okay? At the end, I'm going to show you some free resources, as I said, from where you can start your journey at least, okay? Virtualization of network services. So we'll talk about cloud, okay? So we know that everything is moving to cloud. And basically, that's where the comes of a virtualization of network services, okay? So everything it has to be virtualized, is going through virtualization. That means you need to learn systems like hypervisors, containers. So you need to go through those concepts so that you can digest these when you're going to learn it, okay? Open systems, Linux. So I talked about APIs. You have to learn these open systems in order to do your network engineer job. Automating tasks. What you want to do is to automate tasks. So either you can pick up some solution which Cisco has developed or VMware has developed, or you can go for open systems as well, and you can do your automation separately. So software-defined networking. When I heard this word software-defined networking, I was like, I think we are going to define everything with the help of a software. And more or less, this is the concept. We are going to focus on one controller, centralized controller. This controller will be, it's very flexible. You can deploy this controller on cloud platforms. You can deploy this controller on hypervisors. And this controller is going to control your network. Okay, so can I configure my hundreds of devices using this controller? Yes, you can. Can I do software upgrade? Yes, you can. What about monitoring what's going on in my network if I want to see all those things? You can do it from this controller. Okay, what about writing policies, who will communicate with who and etc. How we can achieve that? You can do it from this controller. So it's intention-based networking. You put up your intention and this controller is going to understand that intention, convert it into the syntax, what these devices understand, and throw the commands to these devices, job done. So I'll give you one example of SD-WAN or WAN, how we are doing it, and then you can apply that knowledge to any concept. But yeah, more or less, we have these controllers, and these controllers are going to take care of your entire network. From configuring devices to managing them, to upgrade them, or to write complex policies for them, everything will be done via these controllers. Okay. So the control plane and data plane, if you understand this knowledge, this terminology, control plane and data plane. So these devices, the routers or switches you are thinking about, their intelligence, their policies, their configuration, everything will be coming from these controllers. So the knowledge, which is control plane, will be coming from the controller, which will be telling them how and with whom they are going to communicate. And then finally, the data plane is basically how they are sending traffic further, will be local to the device. So I hope it's making some sense. If not, it will make some sense. Okay, don't worry. So what I'm going to do is I will use one concept of WAN and try to demonstrate you what I'm trying to explain with SD-WAN, with SDN. So as you can see, this controller is communicating with some northbound API. So these are application programmatic interfaces, and these are some open resources. And using, let's say, Postman application, you can communicate to your controller. So you don't have to log in into your controller. You don't have to take a CLI of your controller and do things, or you don't need a GUI interface to do things on controller, but you can simply send API calls and you can communicate with your controller. We call them northbound API, wherein you are communicating with the controller. Wherein we have southbound APIs. Using these southbound APIs, for example, OPFlex in data center, in ACI environment, we use it. NetConf OpenFlow, we use it in enterprise campus or SD-WAN. These southbound APIs are used to communicate to our internal device. So controller is controlling, let's say 50 devices. It will be using the southbound API to communicate with them. Okay, so if I'm the controller, you are the devices, I will be sending you southbound API, which will contain your configuration, or maybe I'm just monitoring you for some services. Okay. Now, these are some examples of SDN controllers, software-defined networking controllers. They can be open source. I'm not going to torture you with each and every name, but yeah, they can be open source completely, or they can be some commercial SDN controllers. So when we talk about wide area network specifically, in market, there are more than 100 of SD-WAN solution from VMware, we have VeloCloud, we have a Nokia Nuage, which is also they have a centralized controller known as a VSC, virtualized service controller. We have from Meraki, we have from Cisco. So there are many vendors in the market which are giving SDN solution specifically for WAN, for SD-WAN. Same goes for the data center. From the data center perspective, we have many SDN solutions. For example, Cisco APIC, application-centric infrastructure controller, from Cisco, and then VMware NSXT controller, which is doing providing the data center solution from the VMware side. So yeah, SDN is in the market, and we are trying to apply this logic in our enterprise campus, in our data centers, in our WAN, and I hope WAN is the most famous, or you must heard about WAN everywhere. So we all know what we try to achieve with WAN. What we try to achieve is we have multiple sites. So these routers, let's say, are representing our sites. So let's say I have 4 sites. And what we try to achieve with this WAN, we try to achieve is extending our private network. So we are in different locations, but still we want to feel like we are directly connected. So we approach service providers and they give us some solutions. For example, lease lines, which are dedicated lines. It can be a frame relay and many more. Now, the problem is that when we have 4 sites, okay, 4 routers to manage from the WAN perspective. Then you think about policies, how they are going to communicate, which will be the hub site, which will be the spoke site, spoke 1 or spoke sites. You have to think about all those things, and then you have to do the administrative tasks. You need to think about how you're going to monitor them, how you're going to upgrade them, and everything. Now, so when these numbers grows, your complexity will grow, right? So it will increase. Now, in order to simplify this, we applied SDN, software-defined networking concept, to WAN, which is known as SD-WAN, software-defined wide area network. Now, what is going to happen now is we are going to get one controller. Actually, we have 3 controllers in Cisco SD-WAN, but I'm trying to give you in generic overview of SD-WAN, and then you can focus on a specific SD-WAN solution from different vendors. So what we have is we have a controller. These devices will come up. So once this device will come up, you have to do some basic configuration on this device so that it will get internet, and it is going to establish connection with this controller. Now, once all the devices, they will come up and they will establish connection with the controller, everything now will be controlled via this controller. So this controller will give the configuration. This controller will tell the devices how they are going to communicate with each other. So configuration will be managed from this controller. Software upgrade, for example, will be managed from this controller. So how to provision basically your sites, your devices will be managed from your controller. Monitoring, so what's happening in your network will be done from the controller. So technically everything you can think about will be done from the controller. What you have to worry about is how these devices are coming up and if they are connected with the controller. Most of the solutions, they support zero-touch provisioning as well. Zero-touch provisioning means the device will come up, you will put the WAN cable, assuming that DHCP is enabled and DNS is enabled. This device will get IP address automatically, and this device is programmed in such a way that the moment it will have an IP on the WAN interface, it will automatically try to establish connection with the controller. Now you must be thinking this controller is, where is this controller? So this controller can be on the cloud platform, or it can be hosted in your private cloud. Okay, so it can be in your cloud, or it can be in your data centers. You can use hypervisors like ESXi or KVM, and you can deploy these controllers. These are software-based controllers. These are softwares basically you are going to deploy. And then you just need to think about the layer 3 connectivity. Once you have that, you can bring up your SD-WAN devices. If you're thinking about security, is it secure? Yes, it is secure. Okay, so they are going to use layer 4 tunnels. They are going to use certificates. So they are going to use layer 4 tunnels. They are going to use certificates. They are going to use whitelist model in order to form these secure tunnels between the WAN device and the controller. So whatever communication is happening between the WAN device and the controller will be super secure. Okay, so we'll be using TLS or DTLS here. So it is secure, first of all, it has to be secure. And then all your administrative tasks are going towards this controller. So this controller, is it a CLI-based solution or it's a GUI-based? So what it is? Yes, it can be CLI. So you can log in into this device. You can use classic configuration, maybe a little bit different because we have a different operating system doing this job. And then you can take the GUI, which is basically really super easy. So you can go to the GUI and you can play around with the interface and you can do your task. You don't have to learn the CLI commands. Or you can use open systems and you can use APIs to communicate with your controllers. So for example, you can use Python, you can use Postman, Ansible, whatever you're comfortable with, and you can communicate with the controller, get your task done. I hope it gives you some idea about how the SDN is working. The whole logic is you have a controller, and through this controller, you're going to manage your, it can be WAN infrastructure, it can be your campus area, enterprise network, or it can be your data center. You have a controller who is going to manage all the platforms which you have here like this. Now, these controllers can also communicate with devices which are not Cisco. So take an example of Cisco SDWAN or Cisco SDN technology. The controller is supposed to control Cisco devices. Yes, that was the intention. But what if we want to communicate to some other solutions for maybe URL filtering or for performing some other specific task? These controllers can communicate with our ecosystem partner. That's what we call them, ecosystem partners, using APIs. There are many more things like PX Grid, etc. But yeah, using APIs, your controller can communicate with our ecosystem partners and can use the information from there to make your network more flexible. So API is the key, I would say, from the networking programming side, which we need to upgrade so that we can adapt with SDN. I hope this more or less makes sense to everyone. So the idea is that we will be doing everything from this controller perspective. You have to apply policies, you have to apply configuration, everything will be this controller based, okay? Now, more or less, this concept remains same for every SDN concept, okay? If I talk about Cisco, specifically with Cisco, just give me a minute, I'll add more slide to it. Cisco back in 2017, they have their own solution known as IWAN. So in 2017, there was a solution known as IWAN, which was a Cisco SD-WAN solution. But they bought a solution in October 2017, which was known as Viptela, which is still known as Viptela. So Viptela, Cisco SD-WAN. So these are the two solutions which were capable of handling complex enterprise SD-WAN requirement. So Cisco decided to discontinue IWAN and continue with Viptela. The another solution which you must have heard about is Meraki SD-WAN. That's another solution what Cisco propose you. You can think about a small enterprise network and even with big enterprise network, but less complex, with less complexity. So these are two SD-WAN solutions what Cisco provide you. If you go to the certification track, you can find in the specialist column, there are certification related to Meraki SD-WAN. If you talk about Viptela SD-WAN, it is under enterprise. The price section, you will find the concentration exam. You'll find the SD-WAN exam out there. Now, if you talk about from where I should start. So when I started learning about SDN, I was really nervous about learning programming and all those things. I didn't know from where I should start. So what I understood, or my journey was to understand the elements. What are different elements I need to understand? The first one, or the mostly I was hearing about API. So what is this API? Okay, so I'm using a digital whiteboard, which is making my presentation running fast. So for API, for example, what is API? Application Programmatic Interface. Okay, it is an interface to communicate with controllers or my open systems. what it is made up of. It is using basically formats. So if you see the data format of this API, it is based on XML or JSON, or it can be YAML. Okay, and how I'm using them, how I'm communicating with them. So for that I'm using API calls, which are HTTP based, because we are using REST APIs here, which are HTTP based. And what kind of tool we can use to send these API calls? What tools I need? So for data format, I need to learn any of these or one of these, or I need to get comfortable with one of these. I need to understand how to send the REST API. So you will see the CRUD operation where you can create, read. So you can do some operations like, I don't want to torture you with the things, but yeah, if you want to retrieve some information, you will apply a get operation. If you want to put some configuration, you're going to do the put operation. And the tools we are going to use could be Python, could be Postman, and so on. So these are some elements. So I would say this is the element, this is the element. Understanding these operations are straightforward. You need to understand how to use these tools. And the most important thing is to understand these data formats. So you have to choose which one is good. So if you're looking for human-friendly, easy to look for, these are the options. If you're looking for granular options, XML is the most granular in this way. So this is what you need to pick up, and you have to start this with one pace. Okay, that's how it goes. I hope it makes sense to everyone. Now, the next slide is basically talking about this only. So from where I should start. So you can see the underlay technologies. So if you know the underlay technology, like you know about servers, physical servers, you know about Linux servers, you know about network components like physical router and switches, you know about storage, physical disk, etc. Awesome. Do you know about virtualization and overlay? So do you know about, let's say, ESXi or KVM? Do you know how to do the virtualization of compute? Network virtualization, do you know about VXLAN, OpenFlow? So EVPN, do you know about storage, Swift and etc., storage virtualization, etc.? So that's how you're going to think about it. And all these things will construct together and are going to help you to achieve your business goals. Now, as I said, from where should I start? Start with understanding, do you need SDN in your infrastructure? Do you really need to automate your stuff for WAN? Do you need the SD-WAN, for example? Is your network requirement is so complex, it's so big? Is it really difficult to deploy new policies? And if the answer is yes, go for SD-WAN solution. Now you will go into the market and you will look for which solution is going to fulfill your requirement. As I said, more than 100 in the market you will find. And for example, Cisco SD-WAN, VeloCloud, these are the top SD-WAN solution in the market. So, and if you want to deploy any SDN technology, SD-WAN or any other technology, you have to think about starting from this scratch. If you're comfortable with the underlay technology, you have to think about upgrading yourself with the virtualization and overlay technology. Okay. Now, which courses are going to help you to fulfill this? DaveNet course. DaveNet course is designed to give you programming knowledge so that network engineers can do their job in a better way in the SDN world. Now, if you have the prerequisite knowledge, which I earlier mentioned, if you know what is API calls, if you know how to manipulate information in this data format, XML, JSON, XML, if you know how to use these tools, you are ready to play around with these controllers. Okay, these controllers, as I said, you can use API calls, you can use your programming knowledge to configure them, to automate your tasks. You can also go and you can take CLI and you can work on these controllers. or you can use easy to use GUI interface to make your task easier. Okay, so it's not super urgent to become network programmers, but at some point you will feel like for bulk deployment, for more granularity, for more scalability, you need to understand those concepts. Okay, and then comes to manage these orchestration. Cisco has a tool known as Cisco Network Service Orchestration tool, and this is basically to orchestrate your task or for management interface. Then which services are going to consume these concepts? Why you are doing this thing, you have to think about application and everything, and then using SDN or NFV solution, and you will achieve your business goals. These changes are not easy, but they are here already. If I talk about SD-WAN, more than 5 years in the market, customers are moving towards it. From the operation point of view, it is cheaper. From the implementation point of view, definitely it is something which you are going to implement first time. It is going to come with some cost. Most of the models, or I would say all of the models, are subscription based. So you need to take a subscription for 3 years, 5 years, and 7 years. There are different models based on your requirement. You will choose one, and you are going to take the subscription. So you buy the box, you take the subscription, you use it for the time period you're planning to use it. Maybe if you want to upgrade or downgrade, you can do it. That's how it goes. Okay, so virtualizing everything using software-defined networking to achieve your business goals. Okay, same thing is true for data center. You're thinking about applications, and you're thinking about reducing complexity and enhancing the user experience. You have to think about adapting SDN solution, which is more application focused, which is more focused on deploying policies more quickly, more granular, easily scalable. That's what SDN is all about. So I'm going to wrap up quickly. Transformation is real. You have to start thinking about software-defined networking if you haven't done already. Segment your learning. So learn virtualization, learn about scripting, containers, learn about cloud infrastructure, learn about some open tools, understand how the orchestration tools are working, understand your business requirement, where your business is going, what's your future plan. And then you have to think about certification programs which can help you to achieve this knowledge. I'm going to the internet quickly to show you some free resources which you can use for getting the flavor of, for example, network programming. So if you go to DevNet courses, so if you type DevNet, developer cisco.com. So developer.cisco.com, they have many free resources for their partners. So if you have Cisco ID, link it with your company and you're going to get benefit from it. You can go there and you can see some learning tracks. They are going to make you comfortable with the technology. Now, I would not say that they are very focused on making you super expert on it, because this is to give you insight of the program. You can click on, for example, if I'm new to the technology, I'll go to Introduction to DevNet or Network Programmability for Network Engineers. So these are some like a book reading thing, and which will make you comfortable with the technology. And then you can think about which course is going to help you to get practical knowledge, so that you can think about your use cases, your business requirement. You can discuss with trainer, with our engineers, and get your solution done, right? So this is developer.cisco.com. It's a really good place. You can start clicking, you can click on it, you can log in and start, and you can do these courses. It's free of cost, right? Similarly, if you want to get the feeling of, let's say, how the SD-WAN look like, you can go to dcloud.cisco.com. You must have Cisco ID, which must be linked to your customer account. You can log in here and you can book labs. These are demo labs which you can book, and you can to get the understanding on the flavor. Okay, so Decloud Cisco, it's really good for understanding any new solution. So if you're thinking about Cisco SD-WAN, go here, check how the SD-WAN look like, how the interface look like, and then you can talk to us. We can help from delivering training to deploy solution and everything. Okay, just one more slide. I'm going to borrow some minutes from my colleagues. So as I said, demos in Cisco Showcase using Decloud, walk in the self-paced labs, again, referring to Decloud. You can think about meeting our engineers one-to-one, put up your requirement, discuss about your business case, and then we can help not only with deploying the solution, but also training you and your engineers so that you can start deploying your infrastructure. Think about the related sessions. What course is going to help you, okay? That's all more or less I wanted to cover. Thank you guys. Thank you for your participation. And if you have any question, we are going to answer it at the end of the session, okay? So thank you very much. I'm going on mute.
Okay, thank you, Mohit. It was a very great presentation. I do hope that everyone understands, and if you will have any question, feel free to use the chat. My next colleague, Jirka, will now present about some updates from Cisco, F5, and AWS. So, Jirka, it's now your turn.
Okay, thank you, Zuzana. Actually, at the beginning, please let me introduce myself. My name is Jiří Cihlář, and I've been working in ALEF since 2011, so it's more than 10 years. Actually, in 2012, I become Cisco official instructor, and since then I've been teaching a lot of routing switching trainings, basic trainings from basic up to CCIE level, and as well data center trainings. In today's presentation, I would like to talk about data center technologies and about the trainings for them from Cisco, F5 and AWS, which we provide to our customers and students. And I would like to speak about how to navigate through that really bright portfolio of these trainings, and how to choose and pick the right one. What are the strategies, what we see from the students, and what we actually learned in the past. Okay, so at the beginning, first about the motivation. I would like to point out that I think that technical education is today very important, and maybe it's more important than ever in past. Why? I will borrow here a few numbers from Cisco survey. It's a survey which was performed by Cisco, and Cisco asked different companies and different CEOs about their opinion, and 90% of the CEOs said that they are facing disruptive change driven by digital technologies. So they see something is happening on the market, on the technical IT market, and at the same time, 70% of them, they said they don't think they have enough skill to adapt this change. That's very important to realize this. And then 78% of managers and executives actually mentioned or claimed that they think technical certification is one of the possible way how to be successful in technical education. So from this survey, this is just an example of few statistics, I took several conclusions. First conclusion, which I see every day when I speak with our customers, is that technology evolves rapidly, and it is hard to keep pace with it. We see it every day. For example, we have customers in the data centers. Right now they are using traditional legacy environment, which is virtualized using, for example, a VMware vSphere software. And at the same time, they are starting the project about microservices, about containers, using, for example, VMware Tanzu solution, or they are using Red Hat OpenShift or any other open source solution. And at the same time, they are thinking about the cloud. Should we move to the cloud? What kind of workload should be moved to the cloud? And things like that. So at the same time, many architectures, many technologies are available on the market. And the CEOs, or not CEOs, but probably CTOs, they are thinking about it, what should be the right solution for them. So right now, a lot of options on the market. Technology evolves really, really fast. Because of that, I think technical education today is more important than ever in the past. But what I see on the market as well is that even the technical education, the trainings, they must adapt as well. For example, the experience of our trainers, our AWS trainers, is that almost every training they have, it's a little bit changed, it's updated, because AWS provides so many services and they update their services so fast, their trainings must be adapted on that, they must be updated. We see, and Mohit mentioned that, for example, even Cisco changed their certifications, they added new tracks. For example, this DevNet track is completely new, and it's a reaction on the things which are happening on the market. And very positive thing for me, and it was a real surprise for me from this survey, was that even the companies and managers, they think that technical certification can help to success this technical education. And the reasons why, the reasons which were mentioned there, it was that if you don't know where to start, if you don't know what is your goal of your technical education, you can use the technical certification path as a, let's say, possible way how to define your training. You can start and you can have a goal, the achievement of this certification. So the technical certification can be a way how to define the path on your learning path actually, and it can be a measurement of your success. If you are able to learn something and you can prove it by your technical certification that you passed the exam, it's a way how you can measure that you successfully learned something. Of course, sometimes to pass the exam doesn't mean always that you know everything about the topic, but still it's a kind of a measurement. So that's about the motivation or maybe conclusions why I think the technical education is very important today. And one example, it's actually a summary of things which partially mentioned Mohit. When you look at the networking or networking solutions or how networks were done 10 years ago and how are done today, you would see completely different solutions. The networking changed a lot. Today, Cisco came with a lot of solutions. They call it in one term, intent-based networking. Those are the solutions as SDWAN, ACI, SD access, and things like that. All of them are based on SDN, which was mentioned by Mohit. And Cisco has a vision how to interconnect all those solutions to some kind of multi-domain solutions. And very important aspect, I would call it basic stone of all those solutions, is APIs and programmability and automation. And because of that, software skills are now critical. And that's the reason why Cisco adapted their certification and training programs, and they added this DevNet. And we see it every day when we teach Cisco courses. We see that Cisco added a lot of chapters and a lot of information about automation and programmability to almost every course. Okay, so now let's move to data centers. When I speak with our customers about the data center, and I always say that data center is heart of every company. Why? Because in data center, it's the place where your application is running. And it doesn't matter if you are a bank and your online banking system is running there, or if you are an online shop and your business is completely running in your data center, or if you are, for example, ALEF, and your CRM system and information about your students and customers are running as an application in the data center. It's the place where your data is stored. So every important data which you have, which are important for your business, are stored in data center. And when we look at the technologies which we use in data center, we can divide them in several areas or technology sections, I would say. First of all, we need to store somewhere the data. We store it on we store the data on the storage arrays. We use backup solutions to back up our data, and so on. So that's the first section. Second, we must run somewhere our applications. We run them on the servers, specialized computers. We call it compute solution. And in today's world, we actually completely virtualize our solutions. It's pretty common solution today. So I would call this section as a compute or virtualization. Then in data center, every component must be interconnected, and you use your network solution, either your LAN network solution or your SAN network solution. And because data center is important, as I mentioned, you need to secure your data. You need to secure your applications and your environment. So security and high availability is very important in the data center. It's a special section, and there are special technologies used for that. And of course, today everything should be automated, so automation, very important thing. And then you can think about where should I run my technology, where my application is running actually. And you have either on-premise solution, so it's the, I would call it legacy solution. You purchase your technology, you implement it, and you operate it in your own data center. Or you can use services from your public service providers. Why I mention it here? Because we can provide trainings in all those sections which I mentioned, and we provide trainings from, I would say, leaders in that technologies. And in today's presentation, I will be mentioning trainings from Cisco, AWS, and F5. And my colleagues will mention then trainings from VMware and Microsoft. Okay, let's dive in the Cisco data center courses. If you look at it, and for example, you will use the page which was shown by Mohit, you would find out that there are many Cisco courses specialized on data center. We can divide them into two groups. First group, it's this group on the left. It's actually a group where the trainings can be used for achieving the certification. And the certification you can achieve with them is CCNP data center. Second half of the trainings are then courses specialized on specific technology, and they are not used for certification. Then the certification trainings can be divided into two, let's say, groups. First is technology lifecycle trainings. That means that if you want to implement some kind of a technology, first you should start with design. So that's the training DCID, designing Cisco data center infrastructure. Then you should properly implement it and configure it. So it's training DC core. And then when you operate the technology, you should be able to troubleshoot it. So that's the last training DCID. So one approach is to follow the technology lifecycle. Then three remaining trainings are focusing on specific technology. First of them is DC ACI, and it's a training specialized on Cisco ACI technology. Then training about automation, and last one is training about storage area networks and products like Cisco MDS switches. Okay, so and the remaining trainings are then specialized on Cisco UCS servers or hyperconverged solutions or anything technology specific. Okay, so how to choose? What I'm right now thinking, I would like to educate myself in data center area, and I know that I will use Cisco solutions. What are the approaches I can have and I can use? So first of all, you should think if you, and I think you know, if you want to education in networking or in storage area, or if you want to educate in servers and things like that. So that's the first division. If you are looking for a learning path for network engineer, you actually have three options from my point of view. First decision you must do or you must take is do I want to be certified? Do I want to achieve a certification? If yes, then there are two possible ways. First is that you will follow this technology lifecycle approach. You can take DCID training, DC core training, and DCIT training, and then you should pass at least 2 exams from them. Must is DC core exam, and then you can choose one of the another. That's the one approach. Second approach is that you want to be educated and then certified in specific technology. In that case, you must pass DC core exam, so DC core training would fit for that, and then you can choose DCI or automation for you. So that's the second path. And third, you don't want to be certified at all, then you can choose specific trainings just for example, NXOS solutions. Okay, that's the training path for network engineer. If you want to follow training path for storage engineer, learning path for storage engineer, it's pretty easy, but because there are not so many options. If you want to be certified, again you must pass DC core exam, and then there is only one training and exam you must pass, DCMDS, or you can again pick any individual courses. Regarding the servers or compute area, there are 2 ways. Certification way, you will follow this life cycle approach, or you can pick any individual trainings. What is our experience actually? If we look in last 3 years, what is the most common or attended training? The most successful training is DC ACI. And if you look at the numbers, more than 50% of students actually chose this training in the last 3 years. One of the first reason is that at least in the Czech Republic, and actually I work in the Czech Republic, so I can definitely speak for our country, ACI as a technology from Cisco was pretty successful on our market, and a lot of customers actually purchased and implemented this technology. So there was a demand from the market itself. Second, ACI is an example of intent-based network solution. And as I mentioned, is a solution which has new approaches, new architectures, new ways how networking is done. So it is very important for the companies and for the people, technicians, to learn the technology, because it's different than it was used to be. Second experience, what we learned in this year, actually, we had very strong success with new and unique custom training. This training was created by ALEF, and it was created because of a demand of our customers. A lot of customers actually moved from design over implementation to operation phase of ACI, and they realized that they need really deep technical knowledge how to troubleshoot and operate ACI. And they realized that in the trainings from Cisco, it is covered, but not in so much details as they would need. So they asked us for any training for this topic. So we created unique custom training for them. It was created by our trainer, WCCIU, Utility Switching and Data Center, and in this year we had really strong success with this training. This is just one example that if there is a demand from our customers, we can prepare custom training for them if there is no any other alternative from the vendor itself. Okay, that was a Cisco. What about F5? F5 Networks is a vendor which provides a solution for high availability in the data centers and for providing application security. It's a leader in this area actually, and the whole portfolio is covered by 8 trainings which are mentioned on this slide. So as a Cisco, F5 has some certifications and certification program. The certifications are divided in 3 levels. The basic level is certified administrator. Then we could call it professional level, is called by F5 certified technology specialist. and the highest level is called Certified Solution Expert. Our trainers, just to mention, our trainers are either certified in a specific technology on the professional level, so they are certified technology specialists, and we have one certified trainer which actually possesses both of the highest certifications. So he is F5 CSE Cloud and F5 CSE Security. Okay, how to choose the right training if you think about educate yourself in F5 solutions. Again, first division, you should think about will I need network technologies more, or am I a developer, or am I a security guy, or things like that. So if you are looking for a learning path for administrators and operators network oriented, this is the way how it can be done. At the beginning, you should always take this it's called administering big IP. Big IP it's a solution. It's the name of the solution of F5, and it's a basic training. Actually, you will get there the basic skills and basic understanding of F5 solution. Then you can move to configuring LTMC, then to troubleshooting, and then to DNS, which is the solution for providing geographic high availability, that your application can be redundantly available from different places on the world. And I would like to stress out that it's very important to think about this training, this basic training, because it happens sometimes to us that students, they first come already to configuring training, and the basic skills are missing there. So it takes them more time to finish the labs and things like that. So that's the one thing I would like to stress out. The same is valid for security-oriented training. Again, always this basic training should be the first one they should attend, because otherwise, if they for example want to attend training for web application firewall and they didn't attend basic training, the skills are missing there. Okay, so for security oriented, you can choose then training for web application firewall, legacy firewall, I would call it L4 firewall, or APM solution from F5. There is one training for developers as well, it's called iRules in this case. I will not talk about it in more details. What is our experience? Our experience is that almost 60% of students in last 3 years, they follow the network-oriented path. So if I looked at the statistics, almost 60% of the students attended one of the three these trainings which are mentioned on the slide. So LTMA, LTMC, or LTMT training. So it's the most used way how to educate in F5. Okay, last section about AWS. When I thought how I should start this section, actually I remembered our conference. It's called ALEF Inspiration Conference. Here in the Czech Republic, every year we organize a big conference. It's called ALEF Inspiration. And on this conference, we talk with our customers about the trends, about the visions, and we actually try to inspire them. And 4 years ago, I talked there about cloud. And this is a print screen from the presentation. And I remember, it reminds me that in 4 years ago, I mentioned some predictions by Gartner that by 2020, cloud will be really normal way, and almost every company should use cloud in year 2020. So actually that Gartner said in 2017. Second prediction was that the hybrid model will be the most used model. Today I can say that Gartner was too optimistic, at least on our markets. Definitely there are still companies which are not using cloud, but on the other hand, I can say that many things changed. A lot of companies, they started to think about the cloud. They started to move some testing workloads to cloud, to play with it, they started to think about the strategies, how to move to the cloud. So a lot of things changed for the last 4 years actually. AWS is still, as it was in 2016, it's still today a leader in this area with the biggest market share. So we are happy that we can offer AWS trainings on the market, and we do it, or we've provided this training for last 3 years. One of the reasons why Gartner maybe was too optimistic is that moving to the cloud or adapt to the cloud, it's definitely not easy. And it takes some time. IDC created for this so-called 7 stages cloud adoption model, and it created a survey about it, how companies can move to the cloud. It's some kind of a staircase that here on the lowest stair you would see that there is no interest in cloud at all. And then on the highest one, it's the opposite in the company cloud first approach. So everything is in the cloud. And in between, it's a path you can follow to get from the no cloud to everything in cloud. So you can see that first of all, the company should educate themselves or the people, IT staff about the cloud. Then they should evaluate it, test it, provide some kind of demo. Then create a plans, create a strategy for moving to the cloud. Then some of the workload is moved to the cloud, and I think production workload. And in this 6th stair, you can see that several workload is running in the cloud, and the last is then everything is in the cloud. As I said, hybrid model is the most used model for using the cloud, and I think in this Gartner was pretty precise, and I can confirm that most of our customers, they don't use this cloud first or everything in cloud strategy. They are using a hybrid model. So maybe they will finish in this step, in this stage, but still they must move there at first. And why I mention it here? Because in the same survey, IDC provided numbers and provided statistics that if you want to move and move quickly on this way, on this path, you should think about the training, because comprehensively trained organizations are 6 times more likely to successfully move from stage 3 to stage 5. So from the stage they just play with cloud to stage they are using it in production. And of course there is a parameter within 24 months. So if you want to do it in some time, training and education is very important. Otherwise you will fail or it will take you more time. And AWS has really nicely described training plans and ways how you can educate yourself. For me, very important thing what I would like to mention here is, for example, on this slide, AWS claims it will take you 12 or more months. And I think it's pretty optimistic. What we can see, it takes you a time to move from I don't know anything about the cloud to the step or to the stage I am professional in the cloud. It takes some time. It may take 2 years. So if you want to start with your cloud or with cloud journey, you shouldn't wait. You should start with your education as soon as possible, because it will take some time. Okay, regarding the AWS trainings, as any other vendor, AWS provides certification program, so it's very similar. It has 3 levels: foundational, associate, and professional. And then there are special certifications oriented on really specific technology like database, security, machine learning, and things like that. For this certification, we can provide a training really specialized or really oriented on that kind of a certification. And I don't want to spend a lot of time on different kind of trainings here. I want just to show you our experience. At the moment, what we can see on the market, the most used path, learning path, is this architect path. And from the beginning, AWS Technical Essentials, to architecting on AWS, up to advanced architecting on AWS. It's the most used and followed learning path at the moment, what we see on the market. But still, we can help you with any other training or certification if you need. Let's wrap it up. Summary, what I would like to mention again is that for me, it's very important to realize that technical education is necessary to keep pace with fast evolving technology in today's world. And I see it every day. And very positive information for me is that certification programs help to keep focus and measure the success of education. And why it is positive for me? Because certification, actually, it was the big motivation for me 15 years ago when I passed my CCIE. Well, it was not 15, it was 12 years ago when I passed my CCIE exam. So this certification program, it helped me to educate myself. So I'm happy to see that even today it's still valid and the companies see this benefit for them. And we can help if you are not, if you cannot choose the right course for education, or you are not sure which path is the right, we can definitely help you based on our experience of our trainers or our students, as I wanted to demonstrate in this presentation. So thank you very much. That's all from my side.
Okay, Jirka, thank you very much. We have one question for you here.
Okay.
You mentioned during the presentation the custom training about ACI, troubleshooting. Can you say more details about this training?
Okay, okay, of course. Actually, as I said, this training was created based on the demand of our customers, and the reason why it was created because there was no alternative from the vendor itself, and it's actually 4 days training, so it takes 4 days. It covers first of all it covers ACI explanation, the principles. So even if it is covered in any other training, we still take some time and explain ACI at the beginning, just to create a baseline. And then we talk about really deep technical approaches, how to troubleshoot, how, for example, packet forwarding is done in ACI, how you can use REST API and any other options, how to troubleshoot ACI. That's it. So 4 days training with practical labs, actually.
Okay, thank you so much. It was a great presentation with, I think, very important details. I would like to mention also that from a lot of trainings which were mentioned here, we will have dates for next year from AWS, Cisco, and also F5. So we will hear about it in the end of this event. Thank you again, Jirka.
Thank you.
Now it's time for our first external and not first but not last, Jürgen from VMware. So now it's your turn. Thank you very much.
Jürgen, we cannot hear you. Can you please? You are muted.
Now you should hear me, correct? Right?
Yes, yes, great.
Okay. Sorry, there might be some background noise because just 2 minutes ago, some people started working with some machines here in the background. So I hope that's not disturbing. Good morning, everyone. So I just have, I believe, 15 minutes. And of course, like we tend to do, way too many slides for those 15 minutes. I will share those, or the ALEF team will share those after the presentation. I'm here working, as you probably can tell by the accent, I'm based in Germany, working for VMware now, for VMware Learning now for more than 8 years, and have been in comparable positions over the last decades already in Microsoft, CompTIA, Novell, etc., etc. So I have quite some experience in the market, but I will not bore you with facts about me. You can find me on LinkedIn if you are interested to get in touch after the presentation. Basically, I wanted to walk you quickly through a few facts around VMware and VMware learning. Yuri and Mohit covered a lot of stuff already this morning, and I've happily seeing our logo on a few of your slides already earlier today, and I guess most of you guys in the audience know about VMware and what we are doing. But I just wanted to reiterate basically where we are heading as a company. What is our new strategy? And we have heard a lot about multi-cloud, about hybrid cloud, and I share Yuri's perspective of IDC's optimism. Maybe we in Europe are not as fast in adopting cloud solutions as the Americans are. For all the reasons, there are different adoption rates in the different countries. Hungary is different than Czech. Czech is different than Germany and France, etc., etc. But of course, we all know that we are moving into this direction. And from that perspective, I genuinely believe cloud and network-oriented certifications and trainings are very, very important for all companies, because we see this skills gap growing, and VMware will play a crucial part in this in the next coming years, as you can see. I will not bore you with the advertising part here. You all know that VMware plays a crucial part in the industry. What I think is really interesting, just to take you on a quick journey, where have we been coming from? It's all been private cloud, data center, core data center, software-defined data center, a lot of terminology out there in the market. But we can see that we are moving more into that companies like AWS specifically, Microsoft with their Azure product line, Google Cloud, they obviously pushed heavily in the market to develop cloud native apps, and this is going to be more important. And Mohit several times mentioned this morning that from a technological perspective, even the old-fashioned, and I don't mean that in any way bad, I actually have a lot of respect to old-fashioned people. The old-fashioned network administrator must consider to have certain programming skills, not being like a die-hard programmer, but with all the changes in this cloud world, in the networking environment, you will see basically from all large vendors, you will always see the perspective of cloud native apps, containerization, Kubernetes, whatever terms we hear in the market. That makes it more complex, more difficult to decide where I'm going as an individual, but also more difficult for an organization to decide on what training programs, what certification programs to sponsor for their employees or external consultants maybe. Now, as you can see, we are all moving from mono cloud private data center to a by far more complex world, and we as VMware are actually in the middle of this game. As you can see, these are all our cooperation partners. So we have very close relations to AWS, to Microsoft, to Google, and so on, where our core strategy moving forward, and this was announced during VMworld back in October by our CEO as well, our primary partners in the cloud business will be AWS and Azure, the strongest strategic partners, which pretty much reflects the reality in the market as far as I can judge that. Of course, Google will play an important role. We have close relations with IBM, Oracle, etc., etc. But from a business perspective, we believe that AWS and Azure will basically be the most important part, which is a good hint for you on what technologies to focus as well. again, of course, all the others will play a crucial role as well. But from a technological perspective, we will be focusing on all of them. And that's the frightening part. I actually always, I'm not really a technical person. Yes, I understand a little bit about technology. I'm the sales guy. But this picture pretty much shows you how complex things are going to be in the future world. At the end of the day, it's all about apps. How are apps distributed across different systems, across different clouds, and how are those complex networks going to be managed? And of course, Mohit talked a lot about SDWAN this morning, the different variations out there in the market from Cisco, our own VeloCloud solution. All of this would play a major role, but again, and I cannot iterate this often enough from my perspective, application management, containerization, programming will play a major role. So for you out there who are experienced, you have, I don't know, CCIE certification or VCP, VMware certification, whatever it might be, Microsoft certifications, and the knowledge, I believe it's crucial for all of you to gain this piece of application developer knowledge. How do I build those applications, or at least how do I make them run in your individual environment? And this pretty much reflects what we are doing as a company moving forward. We are running, and for the lack of time, will be rushing over one or two slides here. We are the core provider for cross-cloud services moving forward. Yes, we are known for our vSphere products. Yes, we are known for NSXT when it comes to network virtualization, and all of those products are still there, of course. vSphere and NSXT being our primary license drivers, but it is a complex world, and again, we are working with all of those providers, and those are some of the core products we are pushing out very successfully into the market. I believe, depend a little bit on what research company you look into, but from a pure sales vendor view, I believe we are on number 4 or 5 globally right now when it comes to software sales, market size. Therefore, you see the importance of our business as well. And I think that's important for you, again, from an individual perspective, to figure out what certification, what knowledge and skills do I want to achieve, but also from a corporate view, because on the long run, I believe we all will find that most of our employers, large companies, will utilize cloud solutions, hybrid cloud at least to a certain degree. And with that, you will find yourself as a company in the situation that you need management tools where you can manage, which help you manage those multi-cloud environments seamlessly. And a majority of those tools are coming from us. And again, for example, the VMware Tanzu application platform is one of the most crucial ones. And I see that already in our training numbers. The Tanzu classes, which are relatively new, most of them have been published this year or late last year. Some of the Tanzu classes are already in our top 10 classes being visited by students, which also, of course, results into certifications. Cloud infrastructure, we realize, are products which help you manage your network. And I liked Yiri's slide. I hope you will share those as well, Yiri, where you saw like Cisco and VMware, and on top of the slide you saw AWS and Microsoft as the cloud providers, which is obviously a different view with the same message I'm showing here. So we will play a crucial role for most of the companies, I would assume. Carbon Black, just quickly, is our security product, and Workspace ONE is actually a very interesting, a lot of times underrated product in my view. It has not the huge visibility in the market, but Workspace ONE is the best solution, and I really mean it. There are other great products out there like Microsoft Intune, but I think Workspace ONE is the most comprehensive solution when it comes to mobile device management, inventorization, pushing out applications to your employees. I think it's the most comprehensive one because we cover all of it. We cover all vendors, whether you are using Android devices, iPhones, Windows, of course, whereas other vendors are focusing naturally on their basically on their own solution. Our CEO, and I pretty much like that term, used the comparison a couple of months ago. VMware is maybe the Switzerland of cloud services. So we can work, and we are working in good standing with all of those companies, and our products actually represent this at the end of the day. So quickly, I'm rattling on already here. Why VMware Learning and why from an authorized training center? ALEF is one of our long-term and most trusted partners. And in my view, there is a simple reason to go with an authorized training center. And that statement applies to all other vendors we have heard about this morning as well. You will never have from any, there are great neutral, gray, however you want to call them. There are good training companies out there. But from a vendor, you can be sure that the training is up to date. It's and I can speak only for VMware here, we are working very, very closely with our business units to ensure that the content is current, the content is really what our product development thinks is important, and you will not have that from any third-party vendor. And ALEF, being one of our trusted partners for quite some time, is certainly an absolutely good address in Eastern Europe to help you with your training needs and your certification needs. And yes, of course, there are a few more, but knowing ALEF for a couple of years already, I would absolutely vouch for them. Authorized training is also important because that's the only lead to your certification. Again, we know our content, we know what's required in the market. And we have obviously a wide presence globally. Again, I skipped the market slides. Interestingly, Yuri had a similar slide earlier when it came to Cisco training. We have high satisfaction rates in our training. I think our trainer scores are among the highest in the industry because we strictly manage quality of the trainer program. Is it all perfect? Of course not. We have glitches like everybody else has here and there, but I think those numbers speak for themselves why to visit authorized training with ALEF, for example. Again, I will share those slides. VCP certification is our core certification. Our certification program is similar to all those you have seen. We start with an associate level, then we have a professional level, architect level, but I will not bother you with all the detail because I believe the ALEF training and sales consultants can help you perfectly with all the detail. I just wanted to show you this just to make sure you are aware of the importance of VMware certifications as well. Customer quote, just very quickly, we, VMware that is, and with that our training centers, ALEF, offer different learning modalities. And I think that in today's world, you should know that you have all those options to achieve your training goals, your certification. So of course, sorry, wrong direction. Of course, as far as I can tell, most of us prefer to be in a training room with an instructor. Obviously, in today's world, live online is probably the second best choice here. But there is other stuff like our subscription programs, which you can buy from ALEF, could buy from ALEF in different flavors. In best case, you would have an enterprise subscription where you would, for example, have all trainings as basically a self-paced learning. We call this on-demand courses. So all of those classes are there for you to use if you cannot join a training in classroom, or maybe if a class doesn't run because you are looking for like a more exotic topic in your region. Again, all those topics are there, all those materials are there. So we offer, with the help of ALEF, we offer a wide range of learning modalities which should cover all of your individual and corporate needs. Just quickly, you've heard all this terminology this morning already. We have learning passes covering all of our strategic solutions, VMware's strategic solutions. And again, I think it's a very individual decision to decide where to start. One personal recommendation I always liked and still like, which is not on my slide and it's a different vendor, I like the CompTIA certifications to get started. If you are new to technology and need to get your head around network basics or cloud basics, the vendor-specific entry-level certifications like our VMware Certified Technology Associate are great. But personally, out of my own personal experience, I would always recommend the CompTIA certifications to get started. And I know that ALEF is offering those as well. So that's just a rush, and I only had 15 minutes. That's a quick walk through the VMware topics. And again, you will find me on LinkedIn if you have questions, or through the ALEF colleagues, of course.
Okay, thank you, Jürgen. The presentation was really great, and we are also from ALEF perspective very happy for our cooperation. If you will have any question, use chat, or you can contact directly us on our email training.alef.com. And now it's my pleasure to give the word my colleague Dana, and she will be speaking about Microsoft and the updates for next year. So Dana, you can take it.
Thank you, Susanna. Thank you for the opportunity of meeting you today, even if it's online, and I prefer to be face-to-face. I hope the future will bring us in the biggest company of ALEF with face-to-face. Thank you for all the trainers that are presenting today, and I must say that I like it very much, and news are all around. Thank you for the opportunity to speak along with them, because my profile is not technical, and I want to introduce myself. I represent ALEF Training Center Business Development in Romania and this year for Greece. I have experience here more than 3 years. Today, for ALEF Knowledge, I have prepared not more than 10 or 15 minutes, and I would like my colleague to take care of that, because they know me, I speak a lot, and who knows me knows that. About Microsoft courses, news, updates, and everything else. Why Microsoft, you may ask, because why me to present this? First of all, because all my trainers from Romania are in courses now, they are delivering, and the resources they have was me to present today the news about it. The second, because ALEF in Romania is one of the biggest partner, and partnership with Microsoft regard learning came naturally, and now we are able to develop more and more and have a team to deliver Microsoft courses at least 3 years. From 3 years we are started, and we will continue. So my objective today, or agenda, is to present you Microsoft courses and the certification. We will cover topics about Microsoft changes in the current year, because for me, this year was a year with surprises about Microsoft courses. When I started to promote, they change it, they add new courses, they retire some courses that are very known. And all this news I will share with you. And of course, I would like to give you the opportunity to understand how to choose the right course, because based on my experience this year, a lot of my customer and partners asked me, Dana, how to choose the right course for the team? What is the offer that Microsoft has? What is this? Help me to understand. And please, if you have questions, address it in the chat, because I would like to give you an answer. If I don't have it now, I will send you. But please challenge me with some question. I'm sure that I can get it. Okay. And of course, New Year is coming and Microsoft is changing in courses, and I will give you some hints about the news. And of course, I would like to have question and answer from you. This is the first slide that I have it with Microsoft and certification. Since 2 years ago, Microsoft done some changes in the current offering of Microsoft courses. Comparing to the past on certification or based on technology, now we have the category of Microsoft solution, and then the level of certification and job role, which is very new about job role. This certification, 5 category, as you may say, Azure with more than 20 courses, Microsoft 360, Dynamics 360, Power Platform, and a brand new certification that I would like to share with you, and category, it's about security, compliance, and identity. It's one of my favorite topics because I think security is very important. Of course, after, you may say, the most asked question that I receive from the partners, what means Power Platform, Dana? What is this category? What is it all about? Power Platform became a group of products Microsoft is offering to develop and build complex business solutions, analyze and draw data visualization. That means that all about development share between Azure and Power Platform. And this is an answer that can be shared with your customer and partners. If you would like to have development about Microsoft, you need to think about Azure and Power Platform. Considering this category and the journey, career and certification from 0 to fundamentals, this is are the levels. I receive a lot of questions. People ask me why it's about fundamentals. I saw in the AVS presentation that my colleague have done that fundamentals, it's quite an certification need to be done if you would like to understand from the business perspective and technical perspective what solution means. I can tell you that Microsoft in Fundamental has more than 8 courses, and this year they improved the curricula and try to keep up with everything in this area. Of course, what is new specialty? A lot of partners ask me why it's about specialty. You are not using only Microsoft, you are using the other solution, and then you will need to have support with Microsoft and SAP, for example, which is one of the topest solution using from the companies. And of course, if you have someone that is new hire and you need to give him the opportunity to administrate or develop, you need to find the right course for him. Can you start it for fundamentals? But it's very important to know what the guy or girl will do in your organization. What is your role? This is a quite new, I think, for Microsoft, quite new approach based on that. General validation from the testing center says that if a person take a certification, if take a Microsoft certification, they put it like that, will be more productive and will be confident and autonomy in his work. What I want to tell you, Microsoft says, and person view confirm, that all the specialists who take some Microsoft certification bring new confidence in their job. They are doing quite a well job. They can take decision much easier. You can try it, and I'm sure that you will find an answer by yourself. As I can tell you, I mentioned before some changes were done in current year, 2021. And about Microsoft certification, I think this is the topest change that I can share with you, because Microsoft now have validity for certification 2 years. and with the possibility to renew the certification by passing an incremental assessment. Extend your actual certification by 1 year, and of course with extension of 6 months if you pass that period. And this could be quite a change. Why? Because as you see from the other vendors, Microsoft is aligned the technology, and now it's cloud around, and cloud is moving. Technology has updates, and you need to be prepared for that. What I need to share with you, my last point on this slide, it's about the oldest certification. This year they decided they will need to retire. And this could be not a great news for the people that are already certified. But what can we do? We can help them to think, how can I done it? Because I have MEMS, CSA, core infrastructure certification, and I need to renew. What is the right certification for me in this context? The right certification with you is to go to Azure certification for administration, or to think what you would like to do in the future, what will be your role based, and then you can choose your career path with Microsoft and new roles. It's well known that all the certification that we use it for more than 20 or more than 20 years, right now will not be in our vocabulary because they are not recognized about the market. They are not something that we can use it anymore. What the most asked question that I received is about SQL certification. All the people told me that, okay, I need to continue with SQL. What are the Microsoft courses and certification that help me to keep my certification? The answer could be that you will need to take the certification from Azure perspective for developer, as you see on this slide. And also you need to think, one of the most requested courses is DP300, Administrative Relational Database in Microsoft Azure, because as you see, we became cloud all around. If you need more details, I will be more than happy to share with you. Okay, this is quite a change, okay? But stay tuned because a lot of changes are already come in place and they will be active in the next year. As I told you, they have updated some courses like apps and infrastructure and data AI courses. You will find new codes in the current offer like AZ140, AZ600. I can give you hints after my presentation because there are a lot of changes. But one of the changes that I like the most is that if you would like to become an Azure administrator expert, in the past there were 2 courses to fulfill this. Now you will have only one, Azure 305. Could be a change that could help us to achieve the targets that we will have. Another update is about Dynamics 350 and Power Platform. As I told you, these courses were launched last year in 2020, and then they will grow up and they did new courses. And the changes that I like the most is security courses dedicated, like fundamentals, say 900, 200, 300, 400. I think you'll find interesting things because now Microsoft is covering in the career path that would help you to fulfill your career. A topic that I like the most is like new Windows Server legacy courses. I have requests from Windows Server, the last version on-premise, and Microsoft now didn't have any courses because they are retired. But in the new offer, you will find courses that will address your question, like WVS, like Windows Server 2019 Hybrid and Azure Yes, or Azure 800. You can find these courses in the current offer. When I'm speaking with you, I think they launched them because I'm sure for 40 December, for December they launch it. Today I think they launched these courses. Of course, certification news and customer data platform specialist is that course that I'm speaking about SQL, about Windows Server hybrid administration with exam, I already told you. Cosmos database, new certification. And one of the certification that I'm very excited about it is Microsoft 360 certification, Team Voice Expert, Engineer Expert. I think this certification was most requested one time because, as you know, COVID impact was to use technology and to use this kind of technology. Yes, and now Microsoft thinks that we need to have specialists about it. One of the news that I'm not so happy to share is the course of retirement for courses that didn't have certification, like Office 360 Administrator. I must tell you that was one of the requested courses in Romania. Now, I need to think about it. My colleague told me that I have only 5 minutes. I will try to hurry up. I will try to be faster, okay? These are the facts. Okay, we speak about courses, we speak about everything, about changes, and I would like to share with you some slide that I prepared for you that I think will be, how can I say, valid from your country also. The source is from Courseware Marketplace that says the units and bundles are selling across Europe. As you see, the certification Azure became very important, the most requested courses. Fundamentals, of course, for 260 because we are using this technology. Of course, data or Power BI because we need reports, account Azure, and as you see, these courses are more requested. What I'm happy to find here is that security courses are on the top 10 and will grow because it's a necessity that Microsoft now is covering it. I hope that you will find related information in your country and you will discover that what I'm telling you, it's quite not so new. It's something that you will find all around, and information that I share with you are public. I will open a link to show you where you can find all the information about the courses because it's public and you can choose your own course. Now let me share with you. Let me to see if I can share it with you. Stop, I'm sharing with you. This is my last one of my lasts. Okay, this I want to share with you. I hope to be in the right, let me see. If you would like to have it, we can send you by email. But all the courses are here and public, and you can choose the right course. In back, they have information about the courses that you will need to address. Back to my presentation. Okay. I told you that I speak a lot. You know, I'm not used to speak alone by myself, but I have potential, I must say. Okay. I speak about Microsoft offer, and because we are in a hurry, I have 3 minutes, I think, Susanna. Let me share with you about Topaz training offer with Microsoft certification you will find in our current offer. With green are the courses that we can deliver right now in this moment in English for you. There are more than 8 courses that you can achieve. I can say in Romania we have Azure Fundamentals and eFundamental, the Topaz basic courses or fundamentals we are teaching in often and current, and we will have security, the third. About Microsoft Associate, like a highest level with Azure, you can find all the information because there are more than 9 associate level certification from Azure Administrator to Data Analyst and of course to Word and Excel and beyond. The expert certification, they're not easy to get, but you can have it. And of course, at least but not last, I prepare some questions for you when you would like to choose some courses from Microsoft offer. You need to think about what technology is using from Microsoft, what is the level of the people that you are having in the job or in your company, if they are technical, if you are from beginning, if you are business, what is the job role, what you will be here administrator develop, what other solution you are using in your company, And I'm sure that the answer will come to you. These are the questions that I recommend to have each time that you think to choose a certification or a Microsoft course. But least but not least, this are the list of all the certifications that Microsoft has right now. Could be changed in the next year because, as I told you, there are some news. I hope Microsoft will try to be more constant in delivering this. And because it's my last slide, no, this is my last slide, I must say that it's a pleasure for me to communicate with you and tell you about it. I hope that my objective today was obtained and give you some hints. And who knows me, I know I have a potential to speak a lot. Thank you, Susanna. Have a nice day.
Yeah, no problem, Dana. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Right.
No worries, it was longer. I think it was important to say to all of these details. And of course, you will have access to all of our presentations. So don't be scared that you will lose any of information. We will send you tomorrow the links when you will find everything. So now we are coming closer to end, and our pre-final presenter is my colleague from Slovakia, Michal. So Michal, please take your word, and it's yours.
Now it should work. Sorry, I was muted. So again, thank you. Hello, I'm Michal Mardiak. I'm from Slovakia. I'm really glad to be part of this new kind of event about training and what can ALEF offer you in terms of certification and training in different kind of area. So I have, I prepare, or I was asked to prepare a topic or presentation about trainings, and the topic is a bit different. I'm pretty sure that all of those presentations that was before, or you already heard, a lot of you heard about those terms. Maybe some of you play with those things, or even they have in their company it's working or not. Hopefully it's working. If not, you have to go to ALEF and get the certification so you know what's the problem. But I'm pretty sure that every one of you really heard and also use a wireless. So my presentation will be how to become a wireless expert with CWNP. So, CWNP maybe a lot of people don't heard about it. It's not that big company as Microsoft or Cisco, F5 or so, also VMware, but it's very important for wireless field. Why so? The Wi-Fi popularity is really increasing in recent years. So, you basically in these days, internet, the synonym of the internet is Wi-Fi. So you can find Wi-Fi almost everywhere. And when people are looking for internet, basically they switch off the Wi-Fi on their device and looking for Wi-Fi. Well, I heard somewhere that the statistics, it's more than 22 billion wireless devices worldwide, and the number of those devices really increasing day by day. And it's not just, when you think about the Wi-Fi devices, it's not just the smartphone or the laptop. Now you have different kinds of devices that are trying to connect wirelessly. You have smart watches, you have TVs, fridges, ACs. And really smart home applications and sensors and so on. So the wireless is developed to something fundamental for connectivity. And these different kind of devices, one thing is that it's not made by one vendor. There are a lot of vendors, they do different things. Some vendors do the TV, some of those did the APs, some other do the smartphones. Maybe they are the same vendors, but a lot of vendors in the field of wireless. And that's somehow increased the complexity of wireless, because all of those vendors need to somehow cooperate together in wireless world in order to provide you a service that you are expecting. And with all of those applications, as you heard, I mean, the popularity of the cloud and moving the application to the cloud and having the data and data analysis in the cloud and so on, there will be more and more devices that will connect to the internet, and the main connectivity will be wireless because it's really easy. So one thing is, plenty of devices, different vendors. Another main factor in a wireless world is customer by itself, because, and I get it, customers always want the internet, they want the Wi-Fi, and then they want it everywhere and work, as at home. So perfect everywhere, no glitches, no signal issues, nothing. But, in wireless, I heard it somewhere, and I really like it, the saying, like, the worst thing about wireless is that it's very good design. So it works even if it is badly deployed. And that's the main issue in wireless. So it works somehow, but these days the Wi-Fi is also fundamental for enterprise world. And in enterprise, we can't afford to have a fundamental technology, the way how you connect to the internet, it's not working correctly. So by increasing the numbers and the people, there is really an issue. And for all of these issues, the vendors by itself, they have some kind of certification. They already focus on their solution, but maybe you have your infrastructure from different vendor than the Wi-Fi world or the vendor of your APIs. So mix of those vendors might be challenging for you. So that's why we need another abbreviation in wireless world, and this abbreviation or the organization stands behind the abbreviation called CWNP. So what is the CWNP? CWNP is actually the only vendor neutral wireless LAN certification. It was founded in '99, so it's more than 20 years on the market, and those certifications are really worth to take. I mean, in wireless world, those certifications are focusing to IT professionals or wireless professionals who are in touch with the design or need to manage or troubleshoot the wireless. The really good thing about the CWNP is that they don't just prepare some kind of theoretical certification, so you just read a book and then take an exam and you have the paper like you are certified. Those certifications from CWNP are based around the so-called job task analysis. So the CWNP identifies different career positions within range of organization and qualify what task must be performed with those positions. And based on this, they build an exam objectives and create the certification. So they are really very close in touch with the real life deployments, real life usage of wireless technology, and so on. So of course, since we are in event speaking about certification, so CWNP provides a certification. So this is a certification track from CWNP, and they have a very easy hierarchy. So they have entry level, administrator level, professional, and then the expert one. When we look in just short overview of every exam, what is it? CWNP is one of the first or one of few companies that realized that the first people who get in touch with wireless in terms of the customer, that customer has an issue with wireless or wanting to shift from or adding a wireless or wanting to shift from wire to wireless world is some kind of a pre-sales guy or a product manager. So they decide to create a certification especially for these guys. So nothing too technical, but the certified wireless specialist will explain the language of Wi-Fi, what's typical hardware, software that needs to be used with Wi-Fi, and all the terminology. So the first contact, let's say, from the customer point of view, have the information and know what to speak about in terms of wireless. Then there is in the entry level, there is a technician certification. So basically for somebody who is going to install the AP or install the wireless infrastructure, they don't need to have deep knowledge of the protocol and all the processes. They need to know how to mount it, how to test it if it's working, and if not, what might be the issue. So those are the entry level, and then there is an administration level. Basically, the administration level is the level that is first step into the enterprise professional certification. So CWNA is the certification that might have to prove that you really understand the basics of wireless, the management of the wireless, how to install, but also how to configure and troubleshoot it. So all things that you need to do if you manage a wireless world. All of those certification, these or even those with the professional level and so on, they are valid for three years, and every 3 years CWNP is issuing a new version of those certifications. So they are really trying to stay in touch with the business and with the evolving technology. So if somebody has the valid certification from the CWNP, you have to be sure that it's up to date, because the certifications are always up to date. Then there is a professional level. So all of these professional level certification are meant for professional, network engineers that are working with Wi-Fi, or they are, working for the customer to manage the Wi-Fi or troubleshoot the Wi-Fi. So there are 3 of them. The analysis professional. So this is really focusing deeply on the protocol, on the analysis, on the troubleshooting, based on some kind of the packet capture and so on, all the processes. Then there is a design certification, so CWNDP certification, which is really focusing on the design, because you can troubleshoot any issue, and hopefully you will do it. But if you design wrongly the network, those issues will come up and come up again. So the first thing in wireless is a good design of the network, which this certification will help you with. Once you pass it, you should be able to design a wireless network, properly based on the use case or based on the company who wants to use the wireless. And then there is a CWSP. Actually, this is really nice certification in terms of the current situation on the market. So as Dana said, and many of my colleagues before said, security is one of the top topic in the technology world, and since the wireless is without wires, the security is really important. So CWSP is a certification for security knowledge, or to give you the security knowledge about the wireless. What's the issue? How can we attack the wireless network? How to prevent it? What to look for, and so on. So once you pass it, you should have really good knowledge about the security things. And again, all of these certifications are vendor neutral. So it means that even if you are using, Cisco, hopefully you will use the Cisco, or you use other vendors, those knowledge that you will gain with this certification can be used with different vendors. Of course, maybe not so detailed. The details of the configuration for every vendor will not be there, but you will have the knowledge of overall process, and also in very, very deep the process, which is at the end that, usually that's the issue in the wireless world. And then there is the highest certification, which is CWNE. Actually, this certification is without any exam in terms of testing something or so. This exam is really quite hard to achieve, or this certification, because you have to prove different kinds of things. You have to prove that you have experience. You have to send the CWNP endorsement. Then you have to have some kind of publication. You have to write some technical essays about your project. You have to also have some other certification than from CWNP. So they see that you are really a networking guy and you understand, you know, all the let's say life cycle of wireless, all the technology that somehow connect with the wireless. And you know, it's like you know, the Cisco CCIE wireless or CCIEs, there is, you know, more than 40,000 worldwide, but with the CWNE there is less than 500 worldwide. So it's really tough certification, and you have to go all, you know, through the process of the verification or approval, let's say it like that. And there is a well, the last certification in terms of the wireless is the CWNT, so it's for trainers, some special for us, like a training center. This is the certification that we need to take in order to be able to provide the CWNT certifications. But wireless is, you know, in current these days, it's not just about the Wi-Fi, even though people, you know, use it like a synonym. Wireless means Wi-Fi, but in wireless world there is much more happening and much more technology evolving and using. So even CWNP realized this, and they, you know, not that it's not that all this certification, so it's quite new. They come up with the IoT certification track. So this is the IoT certification track, which basically, again, it's divided, or the hierarchy is the administration level, then the professional, and then the expert one. So with the administration level, that's the certification that you need to take in order to get a clue what else is in the wireless world. So basically, that's the fundamental for non-Wi-Fi technology. And then there is those professionals, which are again free certification. They are the connectivity one, focus on how to deploy and troubleshoot, you know, most common wireless IoT protocols. Then there is a design certification, so CWIDP certification, which again, you know, try to or will teach you how to develop and implement the solution, how to design the network. And then you have the CWIIP, which is about the integration. So how to integrate all different kind of IoT work together in order to get, you know, all the data at one point and be able to analyze it and, you know, configure it and so on. And then the highest one again is a CWNISE, meaning the expert one. This is again without need, you know, you don't have to take any exam. Again, you have to send a couple of different requirements to the CWNP, some, you know, endorsement, what kind of project did you work with IoT, then they can call them and, you know, verify if that's true and so on. And after that, you know, if they approve you, you can be the expert. So CWNISE expert in IoT world. And I know that the, you know, certifications somehow are sometimes, you know, just for people to have a paper or to teach something, and especially with, you know, not the certifications that are not related to particular vendors, so they are not provided by Cisco or so on. So maybe you think like, okay, it's nice to have this paper, but okay, I need to do the business, and, you know, I need to somehow connect the certification with business. So actually, CWNP has on their website, it's called an employer map, and they will, you know, provide you or give you a clue how many CWNA certifications are in your region. So I just, you know, take those data and put it to this region. So as you see, the CWNA is really rare in this area, and this is just a CWNA. So those professional levels are not there, but in order to have the professional, you need to have a CWNA. So as you see, there is really just you know, a couple of companies in this region. So that's really, I think, the business opportunity for you, because this can be the key differentiator in different kind of competition and tenders and so on, where you compete with some other companies for a project, or you don't know actually that, you know, what kind of technology or technology. What kind of vendor is your customer using? But you know that you can do it. I mean, once you understand the technology, so Wi-Fi technology, you can configure, you can troubleshoot, different kind of vendors. So this might be really a business opportunity for you to be the first or be among the first in your region to have the certification, and might, be the key thing once you are, with competing about some kind of project and so on. And of course, I mean, the knowledge that you can give, or you can, you take from the certification, and then you can use and give the experience to the customer, and that you really understand what's the wireless, why it's important, what's going on there, how to troubleshoot it, and so on. That's also really important. So that's the last slide. I actually really like it. Wi-Fi with your network. So get certified in a wireless world, and make the wireless really, a good medium to connect to the internet. So that's all.
Okay, Michal, thank you very much. It was, again, great presentation. I hope that everyone understands the topic and get really great knowledge. And we are now coming to the final part, which is my presentation, which is some overview for the next year about our training days and plans. The agenda is really clear. It will be not for long, so I do hope that you will still stay with us. And let's summarize what we will do in 2022. Our main focus regarding the topics will be on the cloud. As we heard today, this is some very important topic, not just in Czech Republic, but I think in other countries. So in Europe, it will be really demanding. The second will be security, together with the cyber security, and last but not least, the data center. Of course, we will do another topics, but these three we thought that are the most important for us and for you to know that we will focus on. Definitely, next year we will continue with our current vendorship, and we will try to do some new one. This is some preparation phase, so we will keep you updated, but I think you will be really nice, and you will know that we are planning something. About the dates and calendar for next year, I know that this slide looks a little bit messy, but I just want to share with you how our plan and organizing looks like. This is only an overview for first 6 months for our dates and the calendar, and you can see that every month we have several trainings from all of the vendors we today mentioned. So it's from Cisco, CompTIA, AWS, it's our own ALEF, and also it's from F5 and again the Cisco. You can see that the dates are already set. You can find there on our website, and you can already register. All of the information you will receive in follow-up email tomorrow. And last but not least topic, which I do hope that will make a lot of you very happy, is that we prepare for you the Christmas surprise. And what it's about, we have in our minds that because this is our first year of this conference, we would like to give you some surprise and some present, because we are happy that you support us and that we can have some relationship with you. So we prepare some interesting discount on selected trainings. The first is the training IT for non-IT. It will be trained by Mohit. You heard him today, and it's completely free. Again, you will receive tomorrow in the invitation the registration link, and the date for this training, it's on 12th of January. So it's a little bit close, but I do hope that it will bring you and give you a lot of important information. Mohit, if you are still online, do you want to say some details about this course?
Hi, Josana, can you hear me?
Yeah, great.
Yeah, so guys, this course is designed for people who are in technology or who are not technical. So it doesn't matter if you're technical or not technical. This course will be telling you some facts from history. That it will show you the evolution of networking, what we know today. It will tell you how we have this internet, what are things responsible for it, and it will also tell you that where we are going in future. So we'll be covering everything from past to present and what's coming in future. So it's a really, really good course. And you don't have to be technical. The best thing is about this course is you don't have to be technical to attend this course. And even if you're technical, it will be really helpful for you. So feel free to join this, and I think you will love this course. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mohit, very much. This reason why we choose this training is specifically for that is not for technical people, and it's really like soft introduction to the IT world. So I really hope and I think that if you would like to gain a lot of information or start with our training center some career, it's a really great tool how to start with it. The next course or the discount is for the Cisco courses. You can see we choose across the whole topic and whole segment of Cisco. And for the Cisco, we prepare for you the 40% of the standard price, which is, I think, really amazing. And for CCNA or BGP, it's a really great price when you can use it. So it's a 40%. We have here another one, which is F5. My colleague Jirka today already mentioned that as a basic, we have two trainings. It's LTMA and LTMC, for which we have also this 30% discount. It's 30%, but it's still a really big discount. The next is AWS. We choose the most let me say, important course in this offer, and it's architected on AWS. For this course, we have again 40% discount. Sorry. And last, it's about Microsoft, and we choose these courses for next year with 30% discount. I think that this offer is really unique, and we hope that you will use any of these possibilities to gain your knowledge and to maybe start our cooperation in next year. Regarding this offers, we have some condition, but you will receive that in an upcoming email. Let's summarize it. Just the reservation of this training has to be done in January next year, and when you will be ordering, you can add the comment to the order APD 2021, because we have to know you are coming from our conference. The discount will be valid only for one training and for one person, but any person from the organization can take the advantage of the training discount, which is, I think, really amazing. From me and from all of ALEF training team and my colleagues across the Europe, it's all. I really thank you so much that you joined today, and I do hope that this conference brings you a lot of information and new knowledge. If you have a couple of minutes, you can here, using the QR code, fill in the questionnaire we prepare to you, because for us, any feedback is very welcome, and we will be happy if you can help us to do the conference next year maybe even better. I would like to also wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, because we are 1 week before the Christmas. Enjoy your time with your family, and we will be looking for our cooperation next year. Thank you very much.